all heard the saying before, God helps those who help themselves. But did you know that isn't actually from the Bible? Maybe you knew that, maybe you're just finding out. But in my experience, it's often people who aren't Christians that I hear say this the most. Whether they're saying it because they know I'm a Christian and they're trying to have some common ground by bringing God into the conversation, or they're trying to use it as some kind of justification for their own actions. I think both can be true at different times. But the fact remains, it's not from the Bible. Psalm chapter 46, verse 1 says, God is our refuge and strength, an ever present help in trouble. So the saying got part of it correct. God is our strength, and He definitely can help us in times of trouble. So, how do we receive God's help then? If God doesn't help those who help themselves, then who does God help? And how can you and I be a recipient of that help? It starts with our relationship with God. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6 says, Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will direct your paths. When we trust in the Lord, when we trust in God and look to Him for guidance, according to this passage of Scripture, God will provide that guidance. He will direct our paths. But there are conditions that are given. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. So our trust needs to be in God. That means not just saying that we trust in God, but trusting what He says, believing that what He says is true. If we truly believe what God says in His Word, then we will obey God. We will obey His Word. Our actions and the way we live life will be impacted by that belief. That's the second condition. Lean not on your own understanding. When we trust God, we believe what He says, which results in us looking to God and His Word for wisdom, understanding, and guidance. We no longer try and do all things in and of our own power and of our own knowledge. We lean on the understanding and wisdom that the Lord provides through His Word. That's where the direction of God comes from. Scripture says He will direct your paths. Our trust and faith in God leads us to relying on His understanding, not our own, which results in us being directed and guided by God. It results in us being helped by God. So you see, God doesn't help those who help themselves. God helps those who trust and rely on Him. Romans 8:28 says, And we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose.